What's up, you guys? Welcome to Nonsense at 9, a daily show where I talk about literal nonsense and random topics every single weekday at 9 p.m. Central Time. And today I want to talk about Long John Silver's. Now, this is an establishment. I don't know how it's still open. I've never seen anyone be like, oh my gosh, we gotta hit Long John Silver's tonight. Anyone who's ever eaten there, I don't know what you're doing with your life. I mean, the fact that Silver's has come into your mind, the fact that Silver's has ever come into someone's mind like, oh my gosh, I could die for this right now. Let's just hit Silver's. Let's just hit a little LJS, as they probably say. I don't know who's eating here. They gotta be moving weight, guys. They gotta be probably the main cause for like all the fentanyl crisis, and it's just in front of us this whole time, because I don't see anyone at the drive-thru. That's point one. I don't know anyone who would eat fast food fish. I mean, that just seems like a disaster waiting to happen. And I say that as a guy who eats Taco Bell semi-regularly, and I've heard at one point they use like horse meat. I think that was a lie. I was told that when I was probably 8 years old, and I just went with it, and they had it in like a meat hose. But that's beside the point. We're talking about Silver's here. But the fact that you can trust a fast food fish sandwich or fish whatever is just criminal. And the third is like, I don't know, if I can't think of eating it as drunk food, like I don't know when you're gonna have it. And it's not like a place where you're sober, you're thinking, oh my gosh, I need that fish basket now. I can't imagine. It's not one of those spots. It's just not. There's no one at the drive-thru. There's no one ever in there. I don't know who's going to these places. I don't know how they're keeping their doors open, let alone expanding. Like, I don't know who's running this operation, what they're behind, but it's something evil. I think they have a lot to do with, like, I honestly think that every conspiracy theory goes through Silver's. I think the Kennedy assassination, listen, there's a lot of, if the government went through it, which it's seeming like that is definitely the case, I think Long John Silver's has to do with all of this. Silver's has been behind it the whole time. The fentanyl crisis, you know, China shipping it to Mexico and bringing it up. I think Long John Silver's is producing it in the basement there, and that's where all this is coming. And that's where all this is coming together, for the fact that I don't know how they're keeping their doors open, and there's got to be another operation behind it. Either that, or they've got so much dirt on the U.S. government where they're just feeding Silver's money, or free fish. I don't know what the case would be. Probably not free fish, because, dude, who eats there? Who actually eats there? No one. I've never met someone who's ever eaten at Long John Silver's in my life, and I don't think I will. And I don't think we'd be friends, but at the same time, I would go. I have to check out at some point. Listen, I don't know how they're keeping their doors open. How are they keeping their doors open? No one goes there. It's not one of those places where it's awful when you're sober, but it's good when it's drunk, so it's not drunk food. And there's no one in the lines, and yet the doors open every day at about, I don't know what time they open that, because I'm not a common customer there. And they're expanding. They're up to no good. That's all I know. They're up to no good. What are they up to? I don't know. JFK's assassination? The fentanyl crisis? The opioid? I don't know if I can pronounce it. Opioid epidemic? I think they're behind all of it. For the fact that there's no other way that they're open. I think they should. I think when we're looking at the crises in America and honestly around the world, Long John Silver's, we need to start looking at them with a little bit, maybe put them under the microscope a little bit, for the fact that I don't know how they're staying open, and yeah, that's all it comes down to. How are they staying open? They have to be behind something, and I think this is the case. I think they're behind all of this, and we just don't know it yet. But that's why I'm making this video, because we gotta get on Silver's ass. We have to get on it early and often, for the fact that that sounds a little sus, but we gotta get on it, for the fact that I don't know what they're doing, but they're up to no good. And I think everyone has come to that conclusion. I think as a country, we should come together and be like, hey, something's not adding up here. Let's just figure it out. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm bringing awareness to it. We need to go on strike at Long John Silver's and just make signs that say what's really going on in that basement. I bet most of them don't have basements, so that'd be pretty funny. Or just everyone just bring signs to just say something random like LGBTQ rights matter. So they're like, what? I don't even think Silver's has spoken on it. Maybe they have. They probably are behind that whole movement. They're probably behind every movement, good or bad. They're behind everything. I think the U.S. government, it all starts with LJS, and we need to start getting those initials down more, for the fact that we got to put them under the microscope, because they're up to something. They're up to no good, and we got to figure out why. We know they're up to no good. How are they open? But why? They're up to something, guys. We have to protest. We have to fight the employees, hand-to-hand combat. It's going to be a civil war, us versus the corrupt system inside that Silver's organization. And we will take them down as citizens of the United States. That's honestly our duty. And we got to do what we got to do. Listen, at the end of the day, we got to do what we got to do. And that involves maybe getting your hands a little bruised up. And I will, for the betterment of the country and the betterment of the truth that the government's hiding behind us inside that chain fast food establishment, Long John Silver's. But guys, I'm trying to YouTube full time, so if you want to sub, doesn't mean a whole lot to you guys, but it means the world to me. So feel free to subscribe, like the video if you liked it. I post every single weekday, 9 p.m. Central. Why don't you like, why don't you sub? See you guys tomorrow, 9 p.m. Central.